peace is as ancient as man's propensity for war itself. We in the Western world are familiar with demonstrations such as these. Yet, strange as it may seem, many of those taking part have lived their lives during one of the longest and most stable eras of peace that Europe has ever seen. Century after century, Europe has been a battleground with rival factions and dynasties. Conflict of them all actually took place only a few decades ago. The tragedy of war is an unforgivable waste of human life and human potential. This was Cologne in 1946. Today the rubble has gone, the ruins have been rebuilt, and the city lives once more. This is the face of Europe now, after a period of peace and stability unparalleled in the 20th century. Yet elsewhere in the world, not a single day passes without a serious armed conflict. To fully understand Europe's remarkable achievement, we must first look back upon the closing days of World War II. In 1945, Hitler's Reich was finally defeated by an alliance of nations, including Britain, the USA, and the Soviet Union. But as an end to the conflict drew nearer, differing views emerged concerning the future of Europe. When peace returned and the Western Allies demobilized, the Soviet Union maintained an overwhelming military superiority on the European continent. Both during and immediately after the war, the Soviet Union forcibly brought under its control a whole series of countries in Eastern Europe. The situation was memorably described by Prime Minister Winston Churchill in 1946.
From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the sea.
In the years that followed, several attempts were made to establish an international framework for the defense of Western Europe. But it soon became apparent that to be fully effective, this would require the participation of its allies from across the Atlantic. And so, in April 1949, 10 European countries, together with Canada and the United States, signed the North Atlantic Treaty, binding together each of their nations in a system of coordinated defense and collective security. From that time onwards, an attack against any one of them would be regarded as an attack against all. However, under no circumstances would any of NATO's forces be used except in response to aggression. Above all else, NATO desired to live in peace with all peoples and all governments. Today, over 35 years later, the peace still holds, and the total number of NATO member nations has risen to 16. And during those years, the recovery of Western Europe has been truly remarkable.
Bonjour d'autant. Un petit moment s'il vous plaît.
Whilst members of the alliance go about their daily business, so too does NATO at its Brussels headquarters.
Bonjour. Bonjour à tous.
NATO is a voluntary alliance of independent sovereign nations. There is no voting, and decisions are taken by common consent. Each member nation, whether large or small, has an equal voice.
Monsieur, Monsieur, Monsieur.
The highest forum for that voice is the North Atlantic Council, under the chairmanship of the Secretary-General, which regularly meets twice a year at ministerial level and at least once a week at ambassadorial level. Here, consultation covers a wide range of international issues, and the Council provides a unique opportunity for diplomatic exchange. The major portion of NATO's work is conducted through a network of committees. Many of them are not specifically concerned with matters of defense.
Morning, everyone. The committee is called to order.
Their interests also cover a wide range of political, economic, scientific and cultural questions. But NATO exists above all as a defensive military alliance. Except for Spain and France, all participate in its integrated military structure. The Military Committee provides advice to the Council on matters of defense, and also to the Defense Planning Committee, which includes all members except France. For the purposes of military planning, the defenses of the United States and Canada are organized on a regional basis, while the rest of the NATO area is divided into 3 major zones, each under a senior NATO commander. The Supreme Allied Commander Atlantic, SACLAT, is responsible for 12 million square miles of ocean from the North Pole to the Tropic of Cancer. The Commander-in-Chief Channel, SINCHAN, covers the vital strategic approaches to Western Europe in the English Channel and the southern areas of the North Sea. Finally, the Supreme Allied Commander Europe, SACEUR, has a task of defending the most exposed and threatened areas facing the eastern landmass. If an attack should occur, NATO's European defense would begin on the furthermost square meter of alliance territory. This posture is known as forward defense. Such considerations will remain important as long as members of the alliance are confronted by an ideology which maintains that conflict between different political systems is inevitable. Despite this continuing challenge, NATO has preserved peace in Europe for over 3 decades. In order to appreciate how this has been achieved, it's necessary to understand the basic principles of NATO's strategy. This is based on the twin concepts of deterrence and détente. Let's take a look first at the concept of deterrence. Suppose an enemy were to contemplate launching an attack on NATO territory. He must at the same time be clearly aware that NATO possesses an adequate level of defensive strength and also the readiness to use it in reply. NATO's intention is to influence him into deciding that the use of military force might involve an unacceptable level of risk, and consequently prevent a war from ever arising. military forces which NATO has at its disposal are divided into three categories. The first is that of conventional non-nuclear weapons which are primarily intended to resist and repel a conventional attack on the European front. The second comprises intermediate and short-range nuclear forces, which are also based mainly in Europe. The final category is that of long-range nuclear weapons, the strategic deterrent. The majority of these are based in the United States. In NATO's overall defensive strategy, these three systems are crucially interlinked in what has come to be known as the triad of forces. NATO's policy with regard to the actual use of its forces is based on the strategy of flexible response. But what does this mean? Imagine the triad of forces as a range of capabilities. Faced with a conventional attack, NATO could initially respond in kind. However, should that response prove insufficient, NATO could opt to use its short and intermediate nuclear forces. Should the aggressor initiate an intermediate nuclear attack, NATO could again respond in kind. But if this should again prove insufficient, a response at the strategic nuclear level remains NATO's ultimate option. This flexibility of response enables NATO to meet aggression at whatever level it occurs. But it's also designed to create uncertainty in the mind of any potential aggressor as to which of its options NATO might use, thus strengthening even further NATO's primary aim of deterrence. Nuclear war is an unthinkable horror. Yet the technology exists and cannot simply be disinvented. It must, however, be effectively controlled. NATO fully shares the concern of those who fear the results of an unchecked arms race. But where NATO differs from the demonstrators is in its approach on how to prevent both nuclear and any other kind of war. Some of our citizens would urge the West to adopt a position of either unilateral disarmament or of outright pacifism. In practical terms, these amount to much the same, and they're not new arguments. Back in the 1930s, there was no shortage of people holding similar views. There were peace movements and rallies even then. Elsewhere in Europe, there were rallies of a somewhat different kind. University of Oxford, the Students' Union actually passed a motion which stated that they would be unwilling to fight for their king or country. Their words did not go unheeded, perhaps not quite in the way they intended. But the most serious misjudgment led government level, where European leaders failed to react collectively to the danger signs, or to devise a common strategy to deter Nazi aggression. And so, as the talk about peace went on, Hitler simply grew bolder. His armies marched into Austria, then Czechoslovakia, then Poland. He gambled upon meeting no resistance. And he didn't. That is, until it was too late. The rest is history. In the 1980s, the policies of the Atlantic Alliance must be guided by the lessons of history. No one can predict with certainty the intentions of the Warsaw Pact, but NATO cannot responsibly adopt any policy which could leave millions of its citizens inadequately defended. On the subject of